Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to Grapperinos, the wrestling pizzeria where we serve you a slice of probably next week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and joining me in this endeavor, well, he's excited because he got Nick Aldis back in the ring. Or should I say, Magnus. Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Yes, hello. I do not know why they are wasting the incredibly hot Gunther in a match with fucking Nick Aldis. I don't know why he is having this match. Whatever. Fun fact about Nick Aldis. You want a fun fact about Nick Aldis?
Sure.
He is 39 years old.
Yeah.
At 39 years old, he is younger than every other SummerSlam main eventer. Yet he's the manager.
This is like if AJ Styles in 2001 mixed up with like Sting and Hulk Hogan and all those people in 2001 WCW. Would that be accurate?
What was that? Sorry, I was sorry. I was looking at his cage match page. I'm looking to find his last match. His last match was approximately 2 years ago in whatever the fuck ACW Bluegrass is, some indie. He was doing a bunch of indie stuff. Wow, he fought Davey
Probably
Boy
indie.
Smith Jr.
Oh. Yeah, that's Davey Boy's son, yeah.
Very nice. What were you saying, Brian?
Oh, I was just saying that's like if AJ Styles in 2001 WCW mixed up with Hulk Hogan and Sting and all those people. Would that be accurate?
No, because AJ Styles was an absolute fucking nobody. That was a wild thing when I saw that in Reliving the War, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is AJ Styles in WCW? What the fuck? Because like I think of WCW as the 90s, and then I think of AJ Styles like 2010. I'm like, what? Those should not be in the same place at the same time. But no, this would be like when I wouldn't even say Eric Bischoff because he wasn't really a wrestler at that time. Maybe like, oh, I have a better idea. Shit, what's his name? Oh fuck. Ernest Miller. When Ernest Miller would fight matches, this is what it is like. So I'm you know what? He's 39 years old. He's younger than Cody Rhodes. I think he still has something left in the tank, and I think we're gonna see a decently good match from him and Gunther. So
Okay. Would you say this is going to be better than Pat McAfee versus Gunther?
yes, I think it will. Definitely. Though people really love to hate Pat McAfee for, in particular, the WrestleMania storyline.
Yeah.
And I get it. I think the booking was ass, but, I mean, the dude pulled out a moonsault, so, I mean, you gotta give him some respect. He does have some athletic ability, so.
True. Sure. Oh boy. Yeah. Would you say that this is enough for a $24 ticket to SummerSlam? Is this enough? Enough value?
Is it a one-night ticket or both nights? For both, it's probably a one-night ticket, right?
I think it's a one-night ticket, so $48 in total.
Honestly, yeah, I'd pay that. If I was in, like, Minneapolis, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll pay $25, goes to SummerSlam. Probably an absolutely shitty seat, but, you know.
Nice.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So.
I do feel like Gunther's position is kind of, like, weird at this point. Like, you said, he got from, I'm killing careers of Goldberg and John Cena and all these people, and now I'm wrestling against Nick Aldis, the freaking general manager. Okay. I don't know. It feels to me like I don't want to. Is this them trying another sort of like Vince Stone Cold situation? I don't know. I don't think that they are. And honestly, both of these angles are kind of different. But to me, it seems like they're pulling a sort of anti-authority angle with Gunther, but that's more for like selfish means rather than, you know,
Yes.
Stone Cold. I guess
I do agree with you that it's definitely the manager versus like a heel upper card. They've done this a couple of times, but usually it's the other way around. And they've tried a few times to recreate the Steve Austin and McMahon feud. They had the Authority. They had when Stephanie McMahon, ran the place for a while. They really haven't had anything since, Triple H sort of stepped back. And I mean, again, my knowledge has like a black hole from like roughly 2004-ish to 2022. So there could be bits in there that I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure they haven't really had anything. I did hear something about an anonymous Raw GM, but that's about it.
The less we talk about that, the better. Let's just say. I mean, do you know the ending of that storyline, though?
I do not.
Do you know who the anonymous Raw GM is?
I do not. Was it Hornswoggle?
Yes, it was Hornswoggle.
Okay, I did get it right. I did watch that that Wrestling with Regret video.
Yep.
So
they did try it. Yes.
Okay.
That storyline was annoying as hell too. Let's just say, because every time something has to happen with the anonymous Raw GM, there's a freaking annoying ass sound that plays, and then Michael Cole would have to read out what it says on the laptop, and it's so annoying. This happens every time on these shows, but anyway, yeah. So now we're getting Gunther and Nick Aldis now, along with the other matches. I mean, SummerSlam still looking pretty good. I mean, we got a pretty good card here. Some pretty good matches, despite the build-up being so-so. The less said about this week's Monday Night Raw, the better. But whatever. Looks like next week is going to be star-studded for the go-home show, so that should be pretty good. And on the Smackdown side, we got, of course, Nick Aldis and Gunther, as I mentioned earlier. And we also got the whole Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Gunther, and CM Punk, that whole situation. So, we'll see what we come up with on this show, where we try to book and predict the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown as we, I guess, head into SummerSlam. And we do it according to these rules. And after that, we tell you our bookings, and basically we watch the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown when it comes out, or I guess after this episode comes out, and then we will score our predictions and bookings based on this scoring system. And we will come back on the next episode of this here show and tell you what we got, and we do the whole thing over again. So, scores. Pitiful. I got 1 point for a Cody appearance, and that's it. I predicted a lot of things. I thought it was going to be a, I guess, predictable show. Some big players in there, but I guess I didn't. I didn't get everything, so not the best. What about you, Mike?
Let's see. I believe, I'm pulling up my points right now. 3 points. I think it was really just from the opening promo with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Sami Zayn, or CM Punk and Nick Aldis. Whoever the fuck that was. What was it? Cody Rhodes. It was Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Gunther. So I had them showing up in a promo, and that was really it. Everything else I got incorrectly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we get some things in terms of points as we head into this Friday's show. But first, let's take a look at what's announced. I don't think there's anything announced. Don't think so. I think we are in for another unpredictable, probably crap show this week, if recent Smackdowns are anything to go by. So, without further ado, let's book this thing. Let's head to my version of the show first, as Gunther goes to the ring. Gunther, he crashes out, he destroys the desk while heading to that ring, and cuts a promo on what happened at Saturday night's main event. He says he was going to win and get into that Cody versus Punk match and get the opportunity he deserved and the title he also deserved and wanted. But that British asshat Nick Aldis ruined it for him. He says he's going to pay for that when he comes back out of retirement at SummerSlam, only for Gunther to put him back in his place. He is then interrupted by Nick Aldis, who says he is not here to fight, but rather talk. He says he thinks Gunther is a great wrestler, but he has a terrible attitude. At SummerSlam, Nick will prove to the world that not only does Gunther have a bad attitude, but Gunther isn't really that great of a wrestler after all. His wrestling ability, in fact, is kind of like his attitude. Pretty bad. This causes a brawl between Gunther and Nick Aldis. They brawl around the ring, and security comes out to separate them both. However, the attack from Gunther to Nick Aldis is kind of severe that it kind of causes Nick Aldis' duties as GM to kind of not come into play for the rest of the show. So, Cody Rhodes, after the attack, he comes out to check on Nick. He notices that the damages are way too much, but all of a sudden, Sami Zayn comes out to attack Cody, and that sets up the main event of the show. And as for the match, Gunther versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam, I think Gunther will win. I don't know if people want Nick Aldis to wrestle more than one match. I guess this may be a test for whether or not Nick Aldis can sort of hang as a professional wrestler and sort of continue the streak after, wrestling Gunther. But I think this is going to be a one-time match, and I think that, he'll give it the best try, the best shot. But I think Gunther will retain the sort of career killer gimmick and retire Nick Aldis then and there at SummerSlam. We move on to Chelsea Green taking on Lainey Reed. And this is for the interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match at SummerSlam, I guess. Chelsea Green wins by pinfall. I couldn't care less who wins the ladder match, because we all know that Rhea is going to win, even if they decide an interim Women's WWE Champion. I'm sorry, but this is WWE's favoritism coming into play. So, whatever. I hope the ladder match is good. I mean, ladder matches are always good. They're here to hype up the audience, hype up the crowd. The one for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania was pretty good. So, I'm guessing this one will be the same way. You get the same ladder spots this time with the women. And I hope it's good. I hope they bring it. Same as the men at SummerSlam. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. We'll move on to Finn Balor. He is backstage. He gets interviewed by some woman when Tama and Tala Tonga approach him. They say that you have us beat. Finn Balor has beaten Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga. So, you know what? I think it's time, Tama says, that we will concede to Finn Balor, and that Finn Balor can lead them now to their new future. Finn Balor says, alright, he forgives them. However, before he can say any more, Tama and Tala Tonga beat him up and leave, and they're just feigning it. So, I think this will lead to Finn Balor and Rey Fenix teaming up to take on Tama and Tala Tonga. And hopefully after this feud, Tama and Tala Tonga can move on to the Tag Team Championships. Although, just considering what WWE does with these teams, I really don't have high hopes for Tama and Talatonga, unfortunately. So I don't know. Maybe they'll just stick there in the mid card, just languishing. I guess. Oh well. But yeah, I think this leads to Finn Balor teaming up, and we got a new tag team on SmackDown. So that's cool, I guess. Trick Williams cuts a promo. He comes out with Lil Yachty, the hype man. He talks about the current U.S. Championship situation. He says that the bald fraud, Baron Corbin, wants the U.S. title. He also has some scores to settle with Carmelo Hayes, which is pretty bad too. He is interrupted by Carmelo Hayes, who still wants a match with Trick at SummerSlam. You know, Trick didn't even beat him when he got on that one-on-one match because Baron Corbin had to come in and ruin everything, like always. And he still wants that challenge. He challenges Trick then and there for a match at SummerSlam for the U.S. Championship, but surprise, surprise, Baron Corbin attacks Trick from behind. Carmelo goes in to fight Baron Corbin, but he fails. And Baron just demonstrates his dominance and power as he just takes on Trick and Carmelo Hayes easily. And he's on top as the segment ends. And we got a new match announced for SummerSlam after that segment. A triple threat for the U.S. Championship, which is Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. And this match is announced by the GM of Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce, who says that he's just taking in for Nick Aldis, who is recovering from his injuries from the attack by Gunther earlier in the show. So there you go. Nia Jax. Before I move on, I'll just say, Trick wins. I think Baron Corbin is too early for that U.S. Championship, and Carmelo Hayes will probably get the pin here. So, unfortunately, Trick will win, because I think Trick is popular with the peeps. So, there you go. Nia Jax takes on Michin after that, and I will have Nia Jax win by pinfall. Again, this is for the interim whatever women's not U.S. Championship, but the WWE Championship. After the match, Michin and the other baddies beat up Nia, but she is saved by Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, who chase the baddies out of the ring along with Chelsea Green. I don't know what we are doing with Jade Cargill and her baddies, but she needs to feel important again if WWE wants this new baddie faction to be relevant, or the takeover, as they call it. I still feel nothing when Jade and the baddies come out and, be dominant. I feel nothing. So I don't really think that WWE is booking this new faction well. It seems like they're just like the tag team division, they're just languishing in the mid-card. And if they want them to feel important, they need to take out some bigger names, like maybe Brie Bella or Paige. I don't know. But I think they're just, they're just some faction at this point, so whatever. Damien Priest takes on Ivar after that. This is to hype up War Raiders versus Damien Priest and R-Truth. Because we got a AAA thing to hype up along with SummerSlam, I guess. I will have Ivar win by pinfall. I hope War Raiders win that match so we can have an actual legit tag team on SmackDown as tag team champions, rather than this makeshift R-Truth and Damien Priest. They're entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. R-Truth still funny, but man, they just not good as champions. Let me just say that. I'd rather have Fraxium or War Raiders have the championships because they are an actual tag team. So, there you go. Blake Monroe versus Candice LeRae. This is a match that happens because of what happened last week. Blake Monroe attacked Candice LeRae backstage, and now we have that. I guess Johnny Gargano is just gonna, just sleep, I guess, while the match is happening. Blake Monroe wins by pinfall. And Johnny just stays there. Too bad, I guess. And Candice is just like, what the hell? Where the hell is Johnny? All that. But Johnny is just too busy sleeping on that crate. So that's too bad. It's too bad. Honestly, I don't know what we're doing with Blake Monroe either. But I think it's time to move her over to the Women's U.S. Championship contention. I think it's time to put her up against Tiffany Stratton, maybe a Chelsea Green. You know, if WWE wants to build up Blake Monroe, put her up against Chelsea Green, If they want to have Chelsea Green treated as a woman who just builds up other women because she is too nice, apparently, then so be it, I guess. But, man, Chelsea is better than that. And Blake Monroe, you know what? If they want to build her up, then they need to move her on over. That's my opinion. So, unless they want to put her up against, BFAB or some other woman, whatever. Just build her up, I guess, and put her on the title contention already, is what I'm trying to say. Adam Pearce is backstage, the GM of Raw, and, he is seen talking to Gunther. I already kind of explained why he becomes the GM of SmackDown tonight, so don't need to explain it again. But anyway, he is seen talking to Gunther, who tells him that he should be respectful to him, or the same fate that Nick Aldis had will befall him. He requests to be put on Punk versus Cody at SummerSlam, and that we don't need Nick versus Gunther anymore, because Nick Aldis is already out. He is in the hospital. I put him there. We don't need this match anymore, because he is going to be out for months. I know, because I laid him out. And Adam Pearce says Nick is recovering from the damages. He is still alive. And the match is still on for SummerSlam. Gunther then starts to threaten him to put him on the Punk versus Cody match, or Adam Pearce is going to be in a hospital, the same as Nick Aldis. Adam says, all right, he will look into it, and Gunther walks away. So there's some intrigue here with the whole Nick Aldis versus Gunther match. Will it happen or not? There's this sort of intrigue running throughout the build, as well as the whole, Punk versus Cody situation. I also feel like we need to bring back the dominance of Gunther instead of him being a whining crybaby. But at this point, I think WWE is too far when it comes to destroying sort of the character of Gunther. So I guess we're gonna have to, deal with it, I guess. But now we head into the main event. Cody Rhodes takes on Sami Zayn, and I will have Cody Rhodes win by roll-up. Again, dusty finish. Cody Rhodes needs to be a heel, or he is sort of transitioning to be a heel. So, roll-up is kind of that. After the match, Sami Zayn attacks Cody, but he is saved by CM Punk. Punk and Cody try to coordinate, but mess up, causing a bit of an argument between the two, leading to them pushing each other. And then Gunther comes out, he attacks Cody out of nowhere, while Sami attacks Punk. Gunther and Sami then push each other, and Gunther does a headlock on Sami, and he ends up on top as the show goes off the air. So again, I'm writing sort of Gunther being the powerful sort of guy here in the situation. I'm also writing CM Punk and Cody. Their sort of friendship is not going well. And, just leading up to the whole Cody heel turn that's should happen at SummerSlam at this point. I'm predicting a Cody heel turn. I do think that Punk retains. I don't think Cody gets it. I think Punk retains. But Cody will turn heel after the match. Just being like, all right, I'm sorry. He extends his hand, but it's a low blow. But, he was Punk's friend. But yeah, I think Cody will turn heel here at SummerSlam. So that is the show. Any questions?
So you finally think they're gonna pull the trigger on Cody turning heel, huh?
They need to. And honestly, I think that the heel turn. I think Cody turning heel at SummerSlam will probably have a bigger impact than Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber. Because the whole Cena heel turn led to nothing, whereas Cody heel turn will probably lead to something. So I think it has a sort of better potential than the Cena heel turn, even though the impact of the Cena heel turn is massive, much bigger than Cody turning heel. But I do think that long term, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes turning heel, that will have a long sort of impact, and the matches that he will have while he is a bad guy. And I also heard that Cody is a pretty mean guy when he's a heel in the indies before he set foot in the WWE. So we gotta see that, if this heel turn is to work. So and I think he will. I think he will pull off that bad guy sort of deal very well. So I am predicting a Cody heel turn. We need it. His character is stale. You see it in the crowd. The crowd is booing him at every turn. I think it's time. I think it's time.
Knowing that, even I know that sounds like a reasonable opinion, and I agree with it, which means they're probably not going to go with it then. they're gonna keep him face, and they're gonna have this weird, it's gonna be almost like a tweener,
Like an anti-hero
type
kind
of deal. So, yes, almost.
Stone Cold Cody Rhodes.
So. Yeah, Stone Cold Cody Rhodes. Yep. That plus, it really feels like they want to run back Carmelo versus Trick Williams, but they don't, because Triple H just doesn't like people who are under 6'2". And that's like the only reason why I think they're putting Trick over so much, is because he's tall and big. I mean, obviously the crowd likes him, right? And they gave him Lil Yachty, so that makes sense. But I don't know, Brian. It just seems like they're burying guys like Carmelo and Ilya for the sake of, I don't know. You have a really good feud with Trick and Carmelo, and you're just throwing Baron Corbin in there.
I mean,
so it's just really confusing.
We still haven't seen Baron Corbin wrestle, so that remains to be seen. I think judging from, the promo stuff that he has done so far, I think he's doing better than when he was, in the WWE before. So we shall see. We shall see if he wrestles better. But yeah, I think that they're operating under the sort of assumption that every debut has to go into just immediate title shots. I mean, we've seen it with Ethan Page. He debuted on Raw, and it's like, I want the Intercontinental Championship, which is great. I mean, you now have a goal at the very start that you want to go for, and, you got a clear sort of goal. As an audience member, you know what that character or what that wrestler is going for, which is great. Same thing I think they're pulling with Baron Corbin. I don't know why they haven't done it with Blake Monroe, but whatever. But I think that's what they're trying to do with Baron Corbin. And there really isn't anyone... I guess you could put him up against Rey Fenix or even Finn Balor for a mid-card feud. But I think that's... I guess Baron Corbin is a bigger name because he's been in the WWE before. So I guess put him up against Trick. But I feel like people need to experience how improved he is first before you put him head first into, the whole title contention. Put him up against, like jobbers or something for a week or two, just to see how, improved he is. And then the commentary can talk about how he has changed from the last time he was in WWE and, all that. And then put a promo segment where he's like, okay, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. I want to go for the U.S. Championship, right? Yeah, I feel like that's sort of what they should do with Baron Corbin, but unfortunately, Baron Corbin is too big of a name to just do that. So they're like, you know what? Let's just put him straight to the U.S. title. Let's have him beat up Trick Williams and the other guy, Carmelo Hayes. That guy. Let's have him beat up that guy too. So it's unfortunate that Carmelo Hayes is just, digressed. Is that even a word? I don't know, but I'm gonna use it. But it just sucks that he is now in this role. When he debuted, was it a year ago or two? There was so much promise, but now no. So I think it's going to be a triple threat at SummerSlam. Carmelo Hayes will be on the card, but unfortunately, I think he is going to be sort of the one who's going to get pinned by either Baron Corbin or Trick Williams if this is a triple threat. If it is a one-on-one, I think Trick will retain here. And it's unfortunate, but, it's the state of current WWE. So, yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, all right. I think I'm ready for my card, Brian. Let's get into it.
Okay. Well, let's get into it then. Starting off with...
We have Nick Aldis coming out for a promo. So Nick Aldis runs out and explains why he did what he did to Gunther last week. He says that Gunther has been poking the bear for the last month or so, and Nick Aldis is not one to be messed with. He gave Gunther plenty of chances, but Gunther continued to push, and this is where it got him. He costed him the title, and he doesn't care about it, even though he is the GM. He feels that Gunther needed to be taught a lesson, and that lesson will be taught at SummerSlam. He is interrupted not by Gunther, but he is interrupted by Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out, and Cody thanks Nick Aldis for helping him to not make the title fight a three-way, four-way. Nick then tells Cody, well, the contract signing for that fight will be taking place tonight in the main event, and you can kind of see what's going to happen here. So that is how the show starts. After this, we have a backstage segment. Corbin challenges Carmelo Hayes. So Baron Corbin, seeing that Carmelo Hayes is obviously next in line for the U.S. title, Corbin confronts him and asks him for a match. Carmelo says yes, and this match will happen later in the show. It is a number one contendership match for the U.S. title. Then we have an interim WWE Champion ladder match. I'm not sure why we have this. I think we have two on this show because they have 3 spots left. I assume they'll do 2 on this show, and they'll do 1 more either on Raw or they'll do it on the Smackdown before SummerSlam. We have in this one Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax. I believe this actually was announced because Charlotte intervened in Nia's match last week, so Nia Jax went to Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce, or whoever the fuck is the GM nowadays, and complained, and they said, yeah, sure, you can have another match against Charlotte this next week for this qualifying to qualify for this match. And I think that Charlotte wins this one via pinfall. Nia Jax loses twice in a row. I think that Charlotte ends up winning because I think that she is probably going to be the interim champion, but I could also seeing it be Jade as well. After this, we have another number one contendership match. It's Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin. This is Baron Corbin's return to the ring in WWE, I guess. Carmelo ends up winning this one via pinfall, I believe. I think Lil Yachty tries to interfere because Carmelo Hayes attacked Lil Yachty about 2 weeks ago. But he fails because Baron Corbin thinks he's attacking Baron Corbin as well, and Baron Corbin attacks Lil Yachty by accident, and that causes Carmelo to be able to secure the win. I don't know that Baron Corbin gets inserted into this feud. I think it's a little bit too close to SummerSlam to throw him in here. I know I'm saying this, and you know how stupid this company is. So they're probably going to throw him in there in a three-way fight. But I think they're going to have a ladder match. They're going to have. Actually, now that I think of it, they don't have too many other multi-man matches. A lot of the title matches are one-on-one affairs, so I guess it could be a three-way, but yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to think that this actually ends up being a three-way because this company is stupid, and they will find a way to insert Baron Corbin into this match, so which sucks because it really should just be Carmelo and Trick, but, whatever. After this, Gunther is interviewed backstage. Gunther says that Nick Aldis has made a massive mistake going after Gunther. Gunther is the career killer. He killed the career of Goldberg, of AJ Styles, of John Cena, and Nick Aldis will be the next man on that list, and he is going to formally retire him at SummerSlam. So I don't think maybe Nick Aldis formally retires in ring. He obviously has a lot more left in the tank as far as a manager goes, so we'll see where this leads. But I am cautiously optimistic about this match because, I think that this is going to be a real dark horse match. I think a lot of people are putting this off because they see Nick Aldis and they're like, oh, bro, he's a manager. He's not going to do anything. He had a lot of pretty decent matches in TNA. So, I think he's going to really show people on the big stage what he's made of, and I think it's going to be a surprisingly good match. So, after this, we have another debut. Blake Monroe versus Candice LeRae. Blake Monroe attacked Candice LeRae for literally no reason while Candice's husband continued to be catatonic on the cart last week. I don't know why they haven't taken him to the hospital yet. I'm afraid that Johnny may actually be dead, and we're just weekend at Bernieing him across these episodes. So I just imagined him getting loaded into the cargo section of a plane, just like that. They just kind of strap him down to the cart and just roll him into the back of the plane like that. That's how he flies. They put him in a U-Haul to bring him there. He just consistently on that cart the entire time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I gotta respect the man for getting his bag. He gets paid probably a decent amount of money, and all he does is just lay on a cart. So,
it's a great payday.
Props to him for getting your bag for doing literally nothing. I think Blake Monroe wins this one. Blake ends up beating down Candice LeRae after the match while her husband watches at ringside and does nothing because he may actually be dead. So, fun things all around. After this, we have the interim WWE Championship ladder match qualifier, the second one on the show, Chelsea Green and Kiana James. This one was not booked previously. I think Chelsea ends up winning this one. Chelsea is having a pretty decent face push right now, and I think it would be great for her to get into this match. She can go over on a jobber in Kiana James and make it into the match. She's always inserted into some match at these big shows because she is super over with the crowd, and it makes a whole lot of sense to have her involved. So, another backstage segment. Sammy returns to Smackdown and talks to Johnny Gargano, who is backstage with his wife, who is nursing her injuries from the Blake Monroe fight. Sammy is basically talking to the wall at this point with Johnny, says that CM Punk doesn't deserve the title, that he's going to go out there and let people know what he thinks and why he should be back in the contendership conversation. And he starts to march to the ring as the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes contract signing gets underway. They exchange pleasantries. Maybe Cody says something about CM Punk coming on his podcast or whatever. I don't know. Whole bunch of glazing back and forth. And Sami Zayn comes out and interrupts CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And Sami Zayn says that, CM Punk doesn't deserve this, Cody doesn't deserve this because Nick Aldis interfered last week. and Nick Aldis should correct this mistake and make this the 4-way that it actually is, because it was supposed to be a disqualification win for Gunther and Sami Zayn. Nick Aldis says the referee's decision is final. Sami continues to complain. Nick Aldis attempts to get Sami out of the ring, and then Gunther comes in to attack Nick Aldis from behind. There is a big old brawl in the ring, and that is how the show goes off the air. Continues the Gunther and Nick Aldis feud. Continues Sami, gives Sami sort of this mysterious decision-making cloud, this aura of mystique as to what will he actually do at SummerSlam. Will he help Cody? Will he help CM Punk? What will he do? He's going to do something, probably. So I think that is what we're going to leave this up for. Bryan, do you have any questions?
I got a few. Actually, just a point first. So regarding Johnny, I think they're just letting his contract run out at this point. I don't think they have any plans for Johnny, so they're just letting him run the contract out. So that
why even have him show up then?
I don't know. What?
Like, that's the thing, is like, if they're gonna let his contract run out, like, why are you just why is he on the show?
I mean, I guess maybe because Tommaso Ciampa is in a show in AEW, so we gotta put Johnny on screen. I guess. I don't know actually, but yeah, it's kind of sad, but he gets paid, so whatever. So first question is, I think a lot of people have been sort of floating this theory around that Nick Aldis may not be, and I sort of alluded to this in my sort of segment, but there's some theories that people are floating around that Nick Aldis is not going to be a SmackDown GM anymore, and they have provided sort of some names on who would sort of take up Nick Aldis's mantle when that happens, and Nick Aldis becomes sort of a wrestler, sort of a member of the SmackDown roster. So I guess the question is, who would you make the SmackDown GM if Nick Aldis is no longer going to be this GM of SmackDown? Who is in your list of names?
Can someone tell me what Eric Bischoff is doing nowadays? I would legitimately pop if Eric Bischoff came back, because I've never seen Eric Bischoff do anything live. So
bro, he's just
that'd
gonna
be
talk
pretty
about
fun.
the NWO like every single time it comes out.
Oh boy. Vince Russo. I'm pretty sure the crowd would probably lynch him like on spot if he did show up to be in GM. Just debut him in New York, and he'll be okay.
Nice.
Did you watch that Dark Side of the Ring documentary? I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Or on Monday, but yeah. Just I cannot fathom how Vince Russo. I understand his thinking, right? It's a TV show. It's not a house show. You got to make it entertaining. I get it. But how he managed to make the same mistake twice and not fucking realize that was the problem, and continues to just assert that he was correct, it's just so funny to me. It's like the man just does not believe that he's wrong.
Well, yeah.
It's funny. No, for real, I don't know too much about other people outside the industry, so I'm not even sure who would be in the consideration. I mean,
would you consider like
you can do?
Would you consider like John Cena or AJ Styles? Maybe like a retired wrestler.
Yeah, John Cena would be an interesting pickup. I'm not sure how well he fits into the GM role. Um, I mean, I know they're having him host WrestleMania, so yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not even sure who else could be there. I mean, could you do like I know JBL's been doing like some announcing work with the company as well. I think he was on a show like once or twice. Maybe he's back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
JBL could
know
also
too much
fit.
about the manager scene, so I don't know who else could be. Triple H, maybe? No, probably not. Shawn Michaels?
He's in NXT.
Maybe. Yeah, but he can move up. But I know he likes being in NXT, so.
Yeah. I don't know. So
Let's bring back the anonymous Raw GM.
Oh
Make
my
it like the
God.
anonymous SmackDown GM.
that would cause more people to tune off the show than anything else really. Would you still have it be where Hornswoggle becomes the anonymous GM, or would you pick someone
No,
else like a mini
it
house?
turns out that it's actually like Danhausen. No, it actually turns out it's like it's it's Roman, and Roman gives himself a title win because
Nice.
we don't have anything else to do in this company.
OTC.
So
Oh,
we don't.
OTC.
This is where everything ends up. It always ends up with the bloodline. So,
Roman Reigns.
have you heard of any other names, Brian, that might be in
Um.
um, the the ring for the GM?
Uh. I think I only heard like AJ Styles tossed around. Maybe like John Cena said earlier.
I think AJ Styles would fit better, in my opinion. I think he's more like John Cena. To me, is more of like a character, right? He's very much
Okay.
hype man. Gets people going. Whereas AJ Styles is a little more like down to earth and serious. I think he'd be actually a better GM than John Cena.
Okay. Yeah.
So
No, I
yeah.
I get that. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely more, I guess, straight man than John Cena, who's definitely like, I guess, cartoony, over the top. He can be like that sometimes. Too energetic, I guess. But yeah, definitely no, makes sense. Um, Another question is regarding the main event of potentially night 2 of SummerSlam between Cody and Punk. So, do you think that Punk retains via this Sami Zayn sort of, intervention, I guess? Or do you still think that Cody Rhodes could potentially be the winner of this match? Like, where is your head at with respect to that? And with the elements of Gunther and Sami Zayn up there, what could you see happening, I guess, at the end at this point of the match?
Um, I I don't think they turn Cody heel yet. Um, because it seems like a very awkward spot to do it. Like he doesn't really have a purpose to. Um, other than he wants the title back, but he hasn't really shown much. So, he's the vodka guy. He's the podcast guy. He can't turn heel, Brian.
Okay.
Until those are over, at least. So I don't think they turn him heel for a little bit. I think what happens is probably CM Punk retains, drops it to like maybe Gunther or a fully heel Sami Zayn, and then Cody Rhodes takes it back. Cody wins. Well, there you go.
Okay. Fair enough. So, what about Gunther or Sammy? Do you think they'll play a role in Cody winning?
I can see Sammy getting involved in the match, definitely.
Okay.
I don't think Gunther is, because he's busy with Nick Aldis, unless
Yeah.
that match happens on night 1, and then maybe Gunther gets involved if it's night 2. So,
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, I think that's it. That's all we got for our predictions and bookings for the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown. And as I said earlier, we will watch the next episode of Smackdown, however dreadful it may be, and we will score our predictions and bookings based on what we got here, and we'll come back here and we'll tell you what we got and do it all over again. So until then, thank you for ordering a slice of probably next week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you are down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by at Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, everybody.